Well, welcome back to the Piney Woods Homestead, y'all. Today's gonna be a walk and talk. I'll be sitting on the gate or something too after taking care of that copperhead a week or so ago. So I'm gonna show off the garden real quick before I get into today's walk and talk. We're gonna be kind of soaring on the wind like an eagle today. Biting flies, already after me. Dog flies is what we call them. They're shaped kind of like a F-14 Tomcat. Corn's looking great, y'all. That fertilizer is really kicking in. We've had a little bit of rain here as of late. It's greening up. I actually had some burning just a little bit, so that let me know that I was just right on the fertilizer. But both patches are looking really good, y'all. That thinning that came about from hilling just a little bit too aggressively really helped things out. I came in here, I think it was the day before yesterday, and worked on this okra one more time. These two inrows. One is red burgundy. It's got those real pretty burgundy stems and a burgundy pod, and we love them. Smooth skinned okra. It's probably my favorite. Next to Clemson spineless. It's a toss up between the two. I love them both fried, especially Clemson. I like it boiled when it's about an inch or so long. It's very tender, but cleaned up the weeds. This killer did a great job. Tomatoes are still looking fantastic, y'all. They're putting on fruit like crazy. We got green beans out here about an inch long this morning, and so I'm happy about that. And it's funny how you can look into a field, or not funny, it's unique, interesting how you can look into a field and see what is getting the best nutrient load. And if you can tell up here on this first bit where that tree had fell, we had a later immersion of the seed, probably because it was shaded a little bit longer, about a week longer, but it's not near as dark green as it starts about 30 feet in there and keeps going. So just goes to show me that come end of gardening season, when we cover crop, I need to add a little bit more nutrient to this side, whether that is in probably a little bit of lime, probably needs a little bit more lime, as well as a little bit of chicken litter, something of that nature, to kind of boost the soil. But everything's looking good, y'all. Even this poor ground up here, corn's looking pretty good on it. Before I get into today's topic, looking at those beans and the color variation in those plants just kind of gave me a life application there. If one part of your field of life, is not growing like it should, you might want to put just a little bit more effort into that part of your life to boost it, to get it to grow. That's just a thought. Today we're going to talk about flying high like an eagle. Something that's been on my brain for the past really weeks, y'all, were some childhood memories of going to an air show at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, down near where my family is originally from. And I used to love watching those jet fighters, especially the Thunderbirds. Got to watch those. Never have seen the Navy's Blue Angels in person. I'd like to do that, but the Thunderbirds was my first, I guess, exposure to like a fighter jet. And seeing all these troop carriers and watching F-15s out of, I believe, maybe Seymour and probably Pope Air Force Base. I'm not even sure if that one's still open. But they used to dogfight over the farm when we were young, and it was something else to watch that taking place. But let me jump into the word, and we're going to kind of get on from there. We're going to start off here in Psalm 103. How I like my bookmark. Some friends of ours, Preston and Laura up in Maine, sent some handmade little bookmarks to us. Appreciative of that. Really coming in handy. But Psalm 103, I'm going to read the first few verses here. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all your iniquities, who heals all your diseases, who redeems your life from destruction, who crowns you with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfies your mouth with good things, so that your youth is renewed. Your youth is renewed like the eagles. That psalm right there pretty much sums up how we need not to really worry about anything, because the Lord himself bears up our infirmities, keeps us from destruction, sets a clear path for our lives, and renews our strength, our youth, like that of an eagle. I was talking about fighter planes. I've just been on that kick here lately. I always enjoyed that growing up, and probably if they'd have had LASIK surgery back then for your eyes, I may would have gone that route, because I love that sort of thing. And what kind of brought this on was a couple of things. This thought about aircraft and flying on the wind like an eagle. We were down here in the garden a few weeks ago, and I heard just this loud rumble coming. And we're used to seeing military helicopters, things of that nature, because there's federal game land not far from us. They pull maneuvers out there, a thing called Robin Sage. But on this day, it was something I've never seen here. It was a large transport plane of some sort. I don't know which variant it was, which model it was, but it was enormous. And it was flying low in probably a landing pattern, because there's a large regional airport not far away. And you could make out every letter. And honest to goodness, if the trees hadn't been blocking part of my view, I believe I probably could have seen the pilot. It was that low over the trees, and the ground just shook. And then later, a couple of days later, this week, I was called to do some grading work for a pilot. And he actually has hangars on his property, a private runway. He's a commercial pilot, but he also has his own planes. And I was doing grading work around some existing airplane hangars. And so I have been on the theme of airplanes. Not to mention, I think I have watched Top Gun Maverick about 4 times now. I just love watching those fighter jets. But a lot of times we, as humans, want to put our trust in armaments of war, whether it be these fighter jets or whether it be the personnel that operate those things. And there's nothing wrong with being, proud that you have people in those positions, or see those magnificent man-made planes up in the sky and be in awe of that. But in the long run, what we should be in awe of is God Almighty, mostly, and how He keeps us on the straight path, prevents our steps from becoming in danger, that sort of thing. And so we tend as humans to worry a lot. And that's kind of a direction I'm going here. We tend to worry a lot. We look in the news and we see everything that's going on, y'all, from wars to famine to just this morning, looks like a university in California has got some of these terror type subjects with some hostages of some sort. It's a daily, y'all. It's a daily if you look into the news all the time. I don't. But I do stay abreast of what's going on, so my head's not in the sand like an ostrich. That has nothing to do with not worrying. The Lord wants us to not worry about our outcome, because He has us in check. He has those of us that are walking with Him in ultimate safety. Doesn't mean you shouldn't prepare. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be ready to defend yourself when needed, or to be able to have power when the power goes out, or have some skills and abilities to help you in certain situations. What I'm talking about is, in the long run, He's got us. So in Matthew chapter 6, verse 25, It says, "Therefore I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, nor about your body, what will be put on, what you will put on. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothing? Look at the birds of the air, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not more valuable than they? Which of you by worrying can add 1 cubit to his stature?" Absolutely, worrying does no good for the body or the mind. It's said that laughter is good medicine, or a cheerful heart is good medicine. I would say the opposite is worry is bad medicine. When worry comes, so does stress, so does sleepless nights, so can the manifestation of physical ailments. So we shouldn't worry. We should be trusting that the Lord has this thing worked out for our lives. 100% worked out for our lives. So instead of worrying about everything that's going on, I'm not saying put your head in the sand like an ostrich. Not at all. You have to be prepared, both spiritually, mentally, physically. You have to be prepared. That's a lot of times people will say you've just got your head in the sand. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're just not allowing all of that worry, confusion, deceit that's going on out here in the world to be your focal point. Your focal point should be on that of Christ and on how can we live godly lives that will be an encouragement to others, pleasing to the Lord, and a benefit to us, our families, our neighbors. So that in the end, we can say, and this comes out of Timothy, we can say, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. What do you want to keep? Do you want to keep the constant struggle of dealing with all the hate and pain that's out here? Or do you want to keep the good fight? The good fight of sharing the gospel of Jesus with people, the good news about what he has done for us on the cross and through his resurrection. That is the focus that our lives should be on. Even I get tangled up from time to time in worry and doubt. I'm human. Everyone's human. So anyone that says, I never doubt, I never worry, I never get scared, probably not being 100% truthful. But after a day or two of that, you should be able to turn it back around. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. That is how you stay away from the fear, the doubt. You bless him, he will bless you. Guys, I hope that you have a good day, a great week, and Lord willing, and the creek don't rise too high, we will see you on the next one.